group of people that are participating. So, how do you get those kids involved? Start them early. And Richie really talked about, the high school group, find out from the different high schools and colleges, find out, do they, from administration, number one, do they have an Interact or Rotaract club? If they don't, let's get one started. And then also, how can we if they don't get one started, if they do have a program, how can we help them with the program? And third, even if there's students who are not participating in either one of those things, how can we interject the ideas of the different programs that are going on in Rotary to get them involved and participate? So the 4-way test, how do we promote that within those schools so that they can participate, whether they're members of those clubs or not? With regard to the broader community, we talked about the new companies that are coming in, and can we get, either an executive or someone from HR to come in and do a presentation to the club. And then we also talked about, a lot of times big companies that come in, they have community service days, or they have lunch and learns, and can we provide them information, or can we, sponsor a table at lunch, or do a presentation for employees to learn about Rotary and our local club and the local club. And then finally, we talked about, maybe we could create a calendar of educational awareness days. So, we're always looking for speakers. And so, there's always, it was International Women's Day, you've got Black History Month. And so looking forward in the calendar, maybe quarter by quarter, just doing what kind of awareness days are out there? Is it Breast Cancer Awareness Month or whatever? And target, trying to get speakers in that are aligned with the different awareness days.
Right.
So there's our ideas in a nutshell. Anna and Richie, if you want to add anything. I think I caught everything.
That was good. That was definitely good. So these sound like these are things that not only our case study group could do, but something that Harleysville can do as well.
Yeah.
So that's definitely, yes. Chuck, who was in your group? And
Frank and Steve and Lisa.
Right. Do we have anybody take notes from?
I think Frank was taking
your group.
notes.
Okay.
I have some quick ones.
Okay.
We looked at the good base of because of their history in the club as a strength, high schools for potential Interact clubs in the area, and a number of businesses. I mean, Rotary lives off of businesses. How can we get all these new businesses represented and involved? The concerns were the diversity, gender and age problems there. They were not as diverse as they should be. That was not welcoming, and we asked, we got to be more welcoming. But what was the problem? Why were they not welcome? We don't know why, what it was that they were feeling. So maybe there should have been some exiting interviews and find out why these young people were leaving. That wasn't as clear. And then we came up with things like mentorship. Sounds like it would be useful there. Definitely improving the inclusion and involvement of let the young people have some say and do some things. It seemed as though we assumed from that scenario that they were bringing some things up and they were just ignored or said, we don't do it that way or something like that. And therefore bringing new and different ideas and different opportunities. And the other one was communication, making sure that anybody else have anything that I missed, please add to it.
It's a good list. Chuck, do you think did he hit everything?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, excellent. Jeff, who was in your group? Oops, you muted. Go ahead.
Oh, he may have had to leave. He had to go.
It would be Marcia and Carol and Valerie and I, and we had a really good discussion. But just so you know, we did start off topic, and then Dan had to come in on topic. So we were like the class that was misbehaving,
I had
and it's
had
all
my eyes
because
on
of me. So Valerie's going to be our spokesperson because she explained to us things that they already do in her business that we think is very, very worthwhile.
All right. You said Valerie had notes?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay. Hey, Valerie.
I have the notes. Yeah, so we have, I want to say 8 business readiness groups. And those groups actually work out to target different organizations that might be underserved. And so we have internal Zoom meetings and we have external projects that we do with communities. So we have our BOLD group, which is Black orders, leaders, and doers. So they want to represent the Black community. However, with all of these groups, everyone is invited. So I'm actually part of at least 6 of the 8 groups because it's a way to learn more about other peoples, other cultures, and finding out that you really don't have as much different as you thought. There's a lot in common. And so if we take some of those things I've been learning, we just jumped right into like action items that we could do. And so first and foremost, we agreed that it has to begin internally with our own team, with our own club. And so for each of us to be able to come together and have open conversations about diversity and inclusion. And so finding out, what are the stigmas? What are each other's perspectives? Because once we understand where someone's coming from, it can lead to understanding. And then we have those true, honest conversations where you allow yourself to be a little bit vulnerable. And then 3, those conversations can be hard. So it takes a little bit of humility, knowing that there might be moments of discomfort. And so you want to make sure that we assume positive intent. So we're all in this club together. I would hope that I could be vulnerable and open with anyone in this club and know that I have the respect of my fellow club mates. And then 4 is you want to be regular and consistent. So it's not like a one and done. So it's really good that Rotary has this newer format, but within each club, we can't just rely on the Rotary International or the Rotary, all the clubs that are in our region. So it has to be something that's done consistently and regularly within our own club. So whether that's quarterly, semi-annually, just something that's regular. And then making sure you are open-minded enough to accept change and grow. So we talked about how a lot of people from all age groups, all demographics, there are those who get stuck. They like what's comfortable. They don't see the need to change. And so we really have to focus on having a growth mindset so that we can learn and grow our club.
Yes. Yes, definitely. That's
Oh, I
excellent.
have one more thing to
Oh,
add to that.
Go ahead.
So something I took away from a recent call was, especially within our organization, is we really need culture contributors. We don't have people come in and then try to make them fit us. We need people to come in and grow our culture and truly show that we are a diverse club.
Good.
That is good. And actually, I mean, diversity, equity, inclusion, it's great to have all demographics and all that represented. But at the end of the day, it is to grow Rotary. The more diverse ideas you have, the bigger Rotary will get. Because personally, I feel that our club is very vibrant and very inclusive. If we have people from different ethnicities, we invite them in and have them talk and all that kind of stuff. So we have a vibrant club, and I think that we're on the right track. Did I miss a club? Did I miss a breakout group?
Yeah, you missed ours.
Sandy. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to speak for our group. We had Mark was in there, John was in there, Larry, and myself.
Okay.
So anyway, we really focused on what we can do to help our club, bringing in new members and bringing in a more diverse group of people. One of the things we said is, first of all, like when we had our meetings in person, people have a tendency to go sit in the same place, the same time, every single week. And it would be a great idea if we had maybe perhaps the board members go out and spread out around the meeting and try and include everybody in what's going on. I think, was it John or Mark, one of you said that one of the things they noticed when they came in is a lot of times you'd sit down at the table and people would talk to you for a couple minutes and then they'd go off and talk to themselves. So we were trying to figure out ways we could include everybody in the conversation.
Yeah.
We also talked about setting up at either like a Hennings or Ace Hardware, maybe Walmart, Giant, Landis, somewhere in the area where we could set up our, as Larry called it, the dancing banner, what was it? The air dancer, or a banner of some sort. We could wear our shirts, our hats, our masks, and set it up, maybe doing bagging or helping people load their cars up with their groceries, something where people could see that Rotary is getting involved and we're out there. The other thing that was brought up was doing something with Monco, checking to see if our what our presence is like or our connection might be at Monco. And the last thing was going to new and existing businesses in the area and see if they would like, or if they would be a good fit for the Rotary, and find out what their needs might be and how we might be able to help them, or how they might be able to get involved with the Rotary Club and our community.
Yes.
Did I miss anything, guys?
That actually
That covered it. Thank you.
Yes, good job. And that a lot of those they are similar things to what the other breakouts had mentioned as well, including the one that Valerie has at her business. So these are great ideas. Hopefully we'll have other conversations on how we can grow our club. Every time I have a conversation about the fact that we do our meetings on Zoom, other club members, other club presidents, they're saying, that they don't know why they only have 5 or 10 people on. They have 100 people in their club, and I mentioned that we have, in most cases, 30, 35 people on almost every meeting, and they're shocked. I think it is because we do have a very vibrant, diverse club. I want to thank the Ashleys for helping to bring down the age, because I think we were around 65 or so until we got 2 20-something-year-olds that, at least when I was vice president, I think our average age is about 56 or so now. So it's come down slightly, 58, I believe. Yeah. But as far as being able to show that we are a vibrant club, you guys have been doing a great job with helping come up with ideas. And if we can carry this through, we're just going to be an even better club because of it. Was that for it's 8:01? I heard a bell.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I I hit a lamp here with my pen and it dinged. Sorry about that.
All right.
And real quick, with everything that we came up with today
Yes.
in this meeting, is it
Yes.
something that we should send to the membership committee, or so we
Yes.
don't let it fall through the cracks?
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
Hey,
And
Dan.
remember,
Oh,
yes.
I'm sorry. I have a question.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Are there any young clubs out there? Young, I mean, age-wise, like people who are predominantly 20s, 30s, 40s, and
Uh,
how did they form? Like, because I know a lot of younger people just say, "Oh, I'm working. I've got kids. I
Right.
all these things. I can't participate. I don't have time."
Yeah, I think those clubs kind of come out of the they would have a satellite or young professionals club, and they would do, maybe happy hour kind of thing, and they would just meet. Specifically, I met a young professionals club in Detroit. I sat in on the regular Detroit meeting, and they're like club number 18 or club number 19, and they're proud of it. They've been around for 100 years, but they had a satellite club where the young professionals leader, he didn't call himself a president, but he was there, and he said, that they're pretty vibrant. They had 20 or 30 members that did the young professionals. So there are other ways to do it, similar to the satellite club model. But as far as actually having a club that maybe where there are all young people, that's normally how they would grow organically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a
Go
good
ahead.
example. It's 8 o'clock and we don't want to
Okay.
extend this too long,
Right.
but
Okay.
there's a good example in our own district, which I experienced as governor. The Doylestown Club was an old traditional meet at the country club, mostly men kind of a thing. And they, like every other club, say, hey, we got to get some young members in here. Now, they did have some women, very good women in their club, but they needed young people.
Hmm.
and they brought some in. They brought some in, and just like our scenario here, what they ran into was they had some ideas to do stuff, and the club, well, we don't do things that way. That's not what we do here, and that kind of stuff. And as a result, about 15 or so of the younger ones finally said, "Look, we'd like to start our own club. Would you sponsor us?" And they started the Central Bucks Club. And they did what Dan had said. They met. There was no meal. They met for cocktail hour, and their whole meeting. I went to it as district governor. Their whole meeting. They had no speaker except me. They had to put up with me that day because it was required. But they don't have speakers. The whole club meeting was 45 minutes. And what they did is they just did their services, some announcements about district stuff and whatever. And then they just went around and said, how's that, John, how are we doing with the golf outing? Mary, how are we doing with this? And how we need help, this, boom. They had their meetings, all committees met on their own outside of the club. And in 45 minutes, they rang the bell and that was it. And they still are a very active club. And at that time, they were in the 30s were their average, the 30s, something 36
Right.
or something was the average. So that's sorry to take up the time, but that's a good
No, that's
example
cool.
that happened right here.
Definitely, definitely. And I mean, starting up other clubs, that can happen. But I think if we keep our club as inclusive as possible, everyone should feel comfortable, whether it is, age or ethnicity, that kind of thing. So
Couldn't
this
we
is,
get people that age out of the JCs?
oh, you said the JCs have an age
But
limit?
they're only until like age 40.
Really?
Yeah.
I never heard that. Really?
Yeah. after that,
Carol,
they
did
they become
Carol,
like a solid rooster after age 40.
really?
Well,
Carol,
Cow Coffle keeps going with them. I think they allow they allow a little float.
there you go. Go ahead, Carol.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say Kyle Koffel knows, like he's talked about how I heard him say something about them aging out. So I think that's right,
Wow, wow. Well,
That doesn't help us so much with the younger people, like 20s
yes,
and 30s, but
right.
That
Yeah,
middle age.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. Well, this was a good conversation, and as I mentioned, this is something that they're doing at Rotary International. Our district is doing it as well, and it has definitely gotten buy-in from the district because within our committee we have the current district governor, the district governor-elect Bob Hoball, the district governor nominee Lynn Geisler, and the district governor nominee. I can't think of what. There's another acronym that comes after that. Diane Donaher. They're all part of our committee, so we definitely have buy-in for 4 or 5 years. And like I said, for the most part, it is to grow Rotary. So it's not a flash in the pan. This is something that is going to help our club, and it's also going to help all the other clubs and help grow Rotary internationally.